This was a tough day for the cannabis cohort. Last night, Cramer favored canopy growth reported a quarter that was widely viewed as disappointing. While their sales came in higher than expected, the company missed production estimates and lost more money than Wall Street was expecting them to. The earnings hit doesn't bother me all that much. The whole point of Canopy is that they're spending a fortune to establish themselves as the dominant player in the marijuana business. But there was one truly discouraging line item that did have me worried. The company's Canadian recreational weed sales were down versus the previous quarter. That's not supposed to happen. I'm not saying this was a Canopy at the bat situation. There was no joy in Budville. Mighty Canopy has struck out. I still believe marijuana is a huge opportunity. I think that it's the displacement of, say, as much as maybe $250 billion of non-cannabis things. But what does it take to be a cannabis kingpin these days? It's not going to come cheap. It's not going to happen as fast as many of you want it to. This has become a long-term story, and it requires patience, and most of you do not have that when it comes to these stocks. But I bring up Canopy because it's the best of breed. So the negative pin action from this I'd say, very suboptimal quarter devastated the entire group.
The House of Pain.
That makes this the perfect moment to address a cannabis company that we keep getting phone calls about. On March 5th, Charleston, California asked for my opinion on innovative industrial properties, symbol IIPR. I said I'd get back to them. Oh, I sure wish I'd circled back sooner, because this stock has been blazing hot. Really want to run from 75 when Charles asked me about it up to 137 yesterday for closing today. $117. Really crushed it. Charles, you got some horse sense. Mea culpa for not just telling you to buy it. I just didn't feel comfortable enough to just say, yeah, go buy it. It's a real interesting situation. Today, in the wake of Canopy, the big earnings shortfall, IIPR has been put through the meat grinder. This thing was down 13% today, 17%. While it's still up a lot from early March, this is exactly the kind of pullback that could make for a good buying opportunity, so long as you believe in the underlying story. So do we believe in innovative industrial properties? Okay, this one's interesting. It's not a regular stock. It's a real estate investment trust, like a Ventas, okay? Like a Federal Realty. It's the only real estate investment trust in the cannabis space. We've been on the lookout for pick and shovel play on the marijuana sector the whole time, something akin to the companies that made fortunes selling picks and shovels in the California gold rush. It was a much safer business model than actually prospecting for gold. And in theory, IIPR could be that kind of story. But in practice, it sure doesn't trade that way. Innovative Industrial is what's known as a sale-leaseback REIT. Just make it even tougher, I know. Basically, they buy specialized buildings that are used by state-licensed medical marijuana growers. Then they lease them back to the operators under long-term rental agreements. They know exactly the kind of setup you need to grow hydroponic weed that's consistent enough for the medical marijuana business. Now, IIPR has been making a series of acquisitions, buying up lots of new properties in states where medical marijuana is legal. They just snapped up a piece of real estate right here in Michigan. The earnings, they've been good, too. And the company just raised its dividend by 33% earlier this week, bringing the yield up to 2% at these levels. Oh, yeah, I know it seems paltry, but can you imagine a cannabis stock having a yield? I have no problem with Innovative Industrial, the company. But Innovative Industrial, the stock, that's another story. It's just too hot for me. IPR came public at $20 way back in December 2016. For its first full year after its IPO, it traded sideways. Then, as the cannabis cohort started heating up, IIPR began to roar higher, up more than 40% last year, and now it's up nearly 160% for 2019. No, come on, too hot. Yeah, most of the move here has happened over the past 6 months. Now, there may be a universe where IIPR is a marijuana stock that lets you sleep at night, but it's not this universe. In reality, the stock trades like every other super speculative cannabis play. Oh, my, it trades like Tilray, for heaven's sake. Look at it like this. Innovative Industrial had one of its worst days of all time today, and it's still up nearly $10 for the week. I think the stock has gone parabolic of late. You know I don't like parabolic. For today's pullback, it was up 60% just since the beginning of June on no major news. And you know what that looks like to me? That looks like froth. We don't like froth. So I feel like, you know what? I got to say we missed it. We missed it on IPR. I should have moved faster. I should have circled back to this one sooner and recommended it at a much lower level. But up here, I just can't count on this buy-in. And I need to see much more of a decline before I'd feel comfortable buying into weakness. The bottom line, if you're looking for a safer way to play the cannabis space, I'm not sure it exists anymore. Hey, you know what? Maybe you have to stick with Constellation Brands, the beer and liquor company that's Modelo and Corona, that reports next week. It invested $4 billion American cash in canopy growth, although they're spending it like mad. A medical marijuana real estate investment trust with $1 billion market cap is not, I repeat, not the kind of stock that'll let you sleep soundly at night. Mad Money is back after the break.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.